Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today, my nugget is the most overwhelming place. Sometimes we feel like life have us by the scrum of our necks. And it is as if moving forward is like being stuck in a mud hole or quicksand. We just can't seem to pull ourselves out of it. In this place, life loses meaning, as it were, and it's challenging. I would say the most overwhelming place is not a place of defeat, nor is it a place of lack. It is not even a place of insurmountable pressure, although it feels like that. I am looking at it from the perspective that sometimes we do all that we think we can in our minds, but this is not the overwhelming place. When we get to this place, even when we have accomplished many things and we have blessings to show for it, as it were, we can still feel like we're in a prison. It is such a place of discomfort and perplexity and inner turmoil that it leads to depression. We all know that in the end, depression leads to loss of vitality, zest, energy, and even the taking of our own lives are being dependent upon tablets just to get our mood out of the place. So if we don't have persons to pull us out of these places, sometimes we sink instead of swimming. This overwhelming place can also be further compounded by the feeling of doors being closed on us. To us, or in our minds, all of our opinions, we have tried everything. We have tried everything in our arsenal, even begging, pleading, beseeching. We have gone down that route and still nothing. It's as if there is no answer to ourselves. At this point, many of us as individuals, we start to question ourselves. We start to question God and his ability to help. In fact, some of us end up saying that there is no God at this point. And when we start to question God and we start to question our ability as individuals, we end up feeling a sense of doubt about ourselves. And anytime we start entertaining doubt, the ability to go forward, the ability to progress starts dying, because we only move or go after things that we have this sense that we are in control of and we can win. So when we're in this overwhelming place, many of us feel lost, alone, and fatigued. Who wants to live like that? Being in this place as a man, not that women don't go there, or if women go there, it's often as a result of the men in our life, because men, we have a responsibility for certain things. And if we don't take all of our responsibilities, we allow the woman to be in a position that she don't want to be in. So as men, we have to have this level of control. But when we're in this overwhelming place, we tend to give up the responsibility. And giving up that responsibility can cause us to feel emasculated. We feel lost, deficient, and as though the world is falling apart around us. This is how we feel as men. This is why it is easy for us to skip out on things that we have to do. I think many of us as males have learned from society, or we learn from the males around us, a kind of coping mechanism that tell us, if you feel as though you are in charge of nothing and cannot make the difference in anything, may as well live like nothing. Or when you have nothing to lose, because in this place you have already tried your best and nothing happened, nothing gave, no door open, you own nothing, as it were. You're in control of nothing. So your best option is either to feel this way continuously, or end up in this place, or stay in this place, or walk away from everything. take responsibility for nothing. This is just how this place make us feel. To me, happy is the woman. Okay, let me correct that. Happy is the man, and I will now say man. Or blessed is the man who have a woman in their life who can recognize that their man is at this place and help him to fight the demonic guards who hold the keys of the door or gate of this place. Let me say to the women, if you can drag us out, hand and foot, bound in chains out of this place, we will be eternally grateful to you. I am always grateful to my wife for nudging me and bringing me back to reality whenever I am straying, So let me say this again. Let me correct this. Without a deep recognition of the spirit, if I can call a lack of planning, not defining end goals that should be our priority, or have a set of routine that is based on a continuous growth plan, a spirit, we will be distracted. We will lose steam and end up in places we don't want to be. Worse, owing to the fact that situation or circumstances keeps changing each day. The loss of life, the rosary life that we had expected to have or we plan. When we started out, we decided that life was going to be sweet. But because things keeps changing, the goalpost, as it were, keeps moving, inflation keeps happening, the economy still keeps going up and down. There are so many things that can go wrong and push us into a position where we don't want to be. Therefore, the rosy life that we would envision for ourselves no longer happen. Because this is happening, we end up, in arguments. The sweet life we envision, the parameter remain the same as when we dreamed it, but they do not. We have to deal with it. We have to have a strategy that says, when my plan is not working out, this is what I'm going to do. Many of us as men, we don't have that kind of strategy. And as a result of that, we end up in arguments with the women in our lives. We end up being frustrated. We end up in a position where we consistently argue. Where we may be tough on the outside, but on the inside, we are mushy. We're soft. Many women don't know that, are probably the ones who do recognize that we are soft on the inside and are a little bit more patient with us. I don't want to continue on that line, but let me say this. Getting up some days and not feeling like doing anything is normal. We go to work, we're tired, and some days we just have to rest. And in order to rest, sometimes you have to ignore what is there. So getting up some days and don't feel like doing anything is not that place. Also, having things to do and ignoring them is not that place. In fact, I would say to you, this is tantamount to stupidity and laziness, are begging for a fight and end up with a miserable woman at home. In addition, having other things in the back of our minds or in our minds, and because we are focusing on this thing, certain things get pushed to the back of our minds, is also not that place. Because every now and then we forget what we should be doing and we take other route. But when you have a good woman in your life who can bring you back, it's so important. Okay, let me say it for the ladies. All it takes is a constant nagging or a feeling like fat, miserable, and always have something to argue and quarrel over to get it done. Again, let me say it this way. This is where I will say happy is the man who have a helpmeet, a woman who have his back. The Lord knows that as men, we can be so focused on the animal and tend to the garden that we leave home. And when I say leave home, I'm talking about the meaningful conversations, the things that we have to do. We can leave them up to snakes, as it were. We can leave our lives up to such a position that it becomes hard to live with us as men. And I am sure that some women must be asking the question, how long must I be patient with this crap? I am not telling you ladies to wait forever. or put up with men behaving like idiots. No, far be it from me. Perhaps this is why in my book, Separation, a Bitter Pill to Swallow, I've asked the ladies, I've said, ladies, look for a whole man. And when I talk about a whole man, I am talking about a man who does what he says and says what he's going to do. It means he has conversations with you. A man who have this tendency to go to God and talk to God about his purpose and his life and have plans for the future and are willing to share these plans and identity and stuff with you. This is a whole man, right? But when a woman don't recognize or she take up a half a man, right, or she herself is not a whole woman, what end up happening is that she end up have to be quarreling with him every day. She end up have to be arguing with him every day. It's as if the both of them are never on the same page. So this is why I've always said two half of people should never get together. It should be two whole people, two individuals who have identified where they want to be, where they want to go, and have chosen partners who can facilitate that growth and development of each other. So when I talk about such an individual, I'm not talking about an individual who will cause her to call him weak and weak-minded, right? A woman that is strong, when she's strong and she take up a half a man, what will end up happening is that she end up wearing the pants most of the time. Because guess what? This man just won't pull his weight. Brothers, I am asking you to pull your weight. Because you have a responsibility. You are the head and not the tail. Let me leave that. All right? Thus, being in this place where we are willing to try, but our energy keeps depleting, or the air in us keeps getting sucked out of us, leave us naked, vulnerable, and afraid. A lot of men don't want to confess that they are afraid. I'm not one of them men who will not tell the woman in my life that, listen, I'm not too comfortable with this. And whenever I say I'm not too comfortable with this, oftentimes it's because the thing scares me. I don't know what I'm going to do. So when I get to this place and I'm vulnerable, I'm happy that I have somebody who will say to me, hey, get up and get moving. And this nugget is for you if you don't have anybody in your life to say that to you. Listen it and let it tell you that you need to get up. You need to move to this place. You need to try again. Yes, you have tried everything, but you still need to try again. Try again. Why try again if all I am going to get is disappointment and bewilderment? With even this, I would say to you, try again. Right? Try some new friends. Try at home. Try something different. Try something new. Push through the limits. Because if you don't push, what's going to happen to you is that you're going to live in a sense of defeat, a sense of misery. So, JAW, what is this overwhelming place you've been talking about for the past 13 minutes? Well, most overwhelming place any one of us can find ourselves is a place of emptiness and don't know what to do or where to turn. In life, when we feel that we are full, when we feel that we have something on the inside, it gives us strength to push forward. But when we feel empty and drained and dragged down, there's nothing that appeals to us. Because guess what? We're running on, we're no longer running. We don't even have fumes. We no longer have nothing to go by. So we're empty, we don't know what to do, and we don't know where to turn. Well, I will say this to you. Every one of us as men, as individuals, it doesn't matter how empty we are, as long as we have life, as long as we have breath in us, as long as we have another day, we still have something to push forward to. We still have something to go at. We still have something to try. The problem with many of us is that because we have tried certain things and we were at this high level, right? For us to come down and try something less than our used to, it gives us frustration and even further make us feel low and depressed. But I'm saying this to you in this nugget, right? You have taken time enough to listen to this nugget thus far. And I'm saying to you, even if it feels like it's not going to work and it bring you to a place that you have never been before, it's as if you have come down to the ground. I am saying to you, try it. Because sometimes it's out of us trying that little thing that make us feel lower than the rest, we get to succeed. You know, somebody once said to me that when you are down on the ground, when you hit rock bottom, there is no other place to go but up. And I will add to it because I've also been told that when you fall down and you can look up, you can get up. If you can't get up for yourself, you can yell, you can shout. And when you see shadows at the top of the cliff, you can start cry even louder and somebody will come down and rescue you. That is life. In fact, in the overwhelming place, I will say this to you and stop so that this nugget don't get any further and more long than it is. In this overwhelming place, I can tell you that we are never overwhelmed as men. We are never overwhelmed as men. Never. Why? Because as men, right, the only person who can overwhelm us is God. The only person who can overwhelm us is God. Not even Satan can overwhelm us. Anything overwhelm us is we allow it to continue longer than it is supposed to be. And as a result of that, it seeps down on the inside. So what is this overwhelming place? The overwhelming place is allowing the pressure of life to seep down on the inside in such a hard way that we cannot find the strength to pull ourselves out because we cannot run away from that which is on the inside or not on the inside. So let me say this to you. In getting out of this overwhelming place, I'm asking you to empty yourself of the ideas that you had. Stop telling yourself that it should have been this way already. No, it is not. If it is not, keep going forward. Redefine your goal. Redefine the spirit of your goal. Redefine what you want to achieve in life and go after it again. Yes, you have had some setbacks. Yes, you have had some defeat. But this is not a place of death. It is a place of life. If you can push through and ensure that you will have the victory. This is JAW saying to you, by all means necessary, create a way out. God bless you. Bye.